Hi, how are you?
Long time no see. Yeah, this place Streetlight is probably my favourite little haunt for records. Mark over there always helps me out with my record collection. These guys always just have a really lovely collection of different things. Heaps of Australian stuff, heaps of stuff from the 90s, 60s, 70s, 80s, heaps of jazz, heaps of soundtracks, a bit of classical too. Always happy to grab whatever I want. So I've got pretty much a couple hundred records sitting at home, and most of them would probably be from here. So we're gonna go for a little bit of digging and so we can conjure up. Unknown Mortal Orchestra, easily one of my favorite bands ever. Started off as a punk band, and the lead singer just had this weird obsession with Whitney Houston, and he kind of sounds like this really soulful, slightly male version of Whitney Houston over these like beautiful psychedelic kind of distorted guitars and really kind of punky tones going on underneath, but at the same time it's just this really gentle, lovely, groovy music. And Sex and Food is easily one of my favourite records of last year. So really beautiful vocal parts on this, some really nice vocal features. Tyler's just got such a rich, raw voice, easily one of my favourite voices in hip hop just to listen to. He's just so rich and deep, and yeah, it's a really kind of his first mature record, which is really kind of great to see. And yeah, like a really pretty beautiful cover and a bit of a jam. Absolutely gorgeous record, like one you must listen to when it's raining, when it's cold, curled up on the bed or on the couch. Fleet Fox's Crack Up is just a gorgeous record. One of my all-time favourite bands. Just beautiful harmonies, beautiful melodies, and they kind of added like a few other dimensions to their songwriting rather than just being, you know, these huge harmonies almost sounding a bit choral at times and folky. This was kind of a really raw, emotional record that really blended some new kind of textures in that they haven't really explored before. So. Straight off the back of Fleet Foxes, an ex-Fleet Foxes member. Father John Misty, he played drums on their second record, and you can kind of miss his voice a little bit actually on the third record because it is such a beautiful baritone, but this is probably my favourite record of his. He locked himself away in a hotel room while he was separated from his wife, as far as I know, and did a bunch of drugs and wrote this record. And it's a big, sad record, but it's really beautiful and honest, and not quite as brash and sarcastic as some of his older stuff, which everyone can either love or hate about him, which I totally get. Might have to suss that one out. Very delicious. Very delicious. Must listen to before you die. Miss Jackson. This is a big vibe, big jam. I actually bought this one recently. Hadn't listened to a Deer Hunter record before. My friend Lewis at work introduced me to them. Really beautiful production, really lovely tunes, lovely cover as well, beautiful artwork. It's really nice when you get a vinyl that just has like really lovely kind of package, and the whole experience of just opening it and, you know, grabbing something that just kind of makes you feel warm from the get-go without even having to spin it. I have this one on order at the moment. This one is Sharon Van Etten's latest record, which is easily already one of my favourite albums of this year. Great pop record, not quite as dark and dreary as some of her older stuff. There's definitely some stuff you can dance to, but just, yeah, really nice sound, really nice production. Yeah, and just some great, strong, deep, emotional tunes, which is nice, which is kind of what I vibe when I'm looking for an album. So yeah. First album I ever bought was, like the first record I ever bought was by a band called The Virgins. It was their second and last record. They were signed to Cult Records, which is Julian Casablancas' label. He's the mastermind of the Strokes. Probably top 5 albums of all time for me personally. This was the first Radiohead record that I ever listened to. Groundbreaking album for music piracy, because that was kind of rabid at the time with LimeWire and whatnot, and they released this album and you could pay what you want for it. And so me being the high school stooge that I was, I paid nothing for this album and got it, and it's still one of my favourite records to this day. I do have it on vinyl now. It's really lovely. Totally opened up all doors to alternative rock. I was kind of very stringent in listening to like indie pop and just very poppy things, but this kind of opened the pathway for me to explore other sounds and textures and different ways of expression. Tommy Looks obviously got a very unconventional sounding voice, but really still expressive at the same time, and really expressive through the music as well as the vocals. See, being a vocalist, I've always focused on singers that, you know, were proper singers, but this kind of opened new ways for me to understand how music can be expressive. This is a beautiful one. This is 4 by Bad Bad Not Good. Great choice in Bathware. You can go on her MySpace apparently. Best singer I've ever seen in my life live. Saw him at Laneway. So like at a festival. That's not where you're gonna see like the best thing you've ever seen ever, but I did. That's fun.